Hello, everyone. Today I have the pleasure to introduce to you a young and very talented Georgian visual artist. Her name is Salome Kvedelidze, and I want to share with her and with you her vision of the world, her vision of the art in general. And I have the honor to host her works on my website, and I would like to start this meeting talking with Sally. And good morning, Sally. Ciao. I would like to talk about yourself. Please tell us something about your art and yourself in particular.
Good morning. Art has never been just a passion for me. It's the way I breathe. It's the way I understand life. Since childhood, every painting was deeply connected to my inner world and the emotions I carry. Without it, my life would be a sky without color, empty, undefined, silent. Every painting I create is a piece of me, deeply reflecting my emotions. My journey is shaped by synesthesia. It's a very special condition, which means experiences color in extraordinary ways. This affects my artistic process, and it shapes the way how I perceive my emotions, my thoughts, and what I think about world in general. This also helps me to shape my art and helps me to inspire various ideas for my art and design process. Art for me is not just creating images, it's all about creating experiences.
This is very interesting, Sally. And I would like to ask you, so how does synesthesia influence your daily life and primarily your art?
Synesthesia influences every aspect of my life, not just my art. It's like sounds, emotions, and feelings are constantly intertwined. It's like when I hear music, I don't just listen. I see vivid color dancing in my mind, creating a multisensory experiences. Synesthesia reflects in people's aura, on the space, and the colors manifest in a room. It also helps me to deepen down with intuitive level. It's like meeting with people and then you feel the colors coming from them, from their inner world, from the music and from the atmosphere around us.
So, have you ever been surprised by how others interpret your colors, your emotions in your works?
Sometimes people see completely different meanings in the colors I use. For instance, the blues, where I see the softness and the calmness as a concept of blue, some looking at it. Because of that, I believe that every individual is very unique. That's why everybody perceives their own understanding of colors and life in general. We are 8 billion people on the earth right now, and everybody has its own perception of colors and life.
If you could translate your synesthesia into a different medium, a completely different medium like literature, music, how would you do it?
It's a very interesting question, and in my situation, the music would be the closest fit because music already influences my synesthetic experience. It's like hearing sounds and instantly forming colors dancing in my mind and creating visual landscape. So music is like a movement, and they are deeply corresponding with colors itself.
So we're talking about experimentation. Could you tell us, Sally, what's the most unconventional material or method you've used for your works?
One of the most unconventional material I've used is light itself. By incorporating light projection and reflecting surfaces, my artwork and my color shift as the viewer move around it.
Talking about the personal inspiration, could you tell us something about how your fascination with art has evolved over time, since your childhood?
My fascination with art started with a very young age, as it was like always with me. As a child, I was deeping down with the process of painting. And then I was obsessed and very shocked when I find out that I was having synesthesia. And in this moment, I find out that colors were talking to me. And then I find out that we are not just a pigments on canvas. They were creating sensations, emotions, and experiences on the paintings. As I grew older, I'm just deeping down more deeply and asking a lot of questions, because I think my art is deeply connected to ask a lot of questions and press, first of all, myself and then others to think more about what's inside of me and what's inside of others.
So you're talking as a magician, no? So I would like to ask you, do you think there is a connection between magic and creativity?
I love this question. Absolutely, I do. I believe that creativity and magic is constantly intertwined with each other. The magic is where you are fully immersed with this process. And then what I believe is that when you are fully there without no expectation, then the magic happens. Mm-hmm. And this challenges me to push myself to be out of my comfort zone and to just believe that curiosity will guide you within the glimpse of magic.
Mm-hmm. And how do you decide on the concept that you want to explore, for example?
I think it's a very dynamic process. It's like a movement. It's like, as I told you, that it's like natural light, how it's changing during the day. My art means nothing until it meets the viewer's eye. So it's very important to be immersed with others and to understand what the others are thinking about your art, what they are feeling.
Yeah. This is interesting too. And how do you view the relationship between the viewer and your works, for example?
As I told you, my art is not giving fixed definitions. It's like a whole exploration that each viewer is deeping down within themselves and understand the questions. Sometimes they are very linked in those questions, what they bring the pain. So it's all about the individual discovery. It's all about to be relaxed, not to be afraid of anything, and just to believe yourself and your feelings.
Talking about communication, which is a very important process for art, I will read you some words, and you can tell me what you think about them. Of course, connected with art. Heal, inspire, provoke, or challenge. What's the relationship with art?
Talking about art, throughout the time, art evolved in a different ways. Scenarios were changed, colors were changed, the perspectives were changed. And but what we often today is that people are afraid of their own thoughts, the deep thoughts, because they are bringing the pain. So my art, I believe my art has a tool to heal because it provokes a lot of questions for the viewers.
Yeah. And so you said questions, answers. Do you think that your art can create more questions or can create more answers or both? Or could you explain, please?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love asking a lot of questions because I'm a very curious person, and that's why it was the whole concept of the basis of my concept of my art is asking a lot of questions. So I pressure also viewer to think and ask a lot of questions because I believe that's the only way that people can grow is to ask a lot of infinite questions that never ends.
Talking about the viewer interaction as a topic, could you explain what's the most unexpected reaction that a viewer has had over your works?
It was once that viewer told me that my painting were talking to their soul. They arised the questions that they were avoiding for during a lot of years. And then I understand that the art has the ability, the tool to heal to others, to help them to push and understand more about themselves. And in general, art is shared language that everyone can share.
Yeah, and I think that you agree with me that the artist is a guide, is a sort of guide. So if you could guide someone through your works, how could you imagine this kind of path?
That's very marvelous question, I would say, because I already explained that for me, the whole world is about questions, about questioning and never stop it. My art is also based on this idea. So my idea is rather than giving the fixed definition, it's like very important to ask questions. When viewer is looking on my painting, I would ask the question what they are feeling in that moment. What they experience, what they see, what's the concept change according to their understanding. Because, the most of the time, every painting has the concept, but my painting has very personal understanding as well, because everyone can create their own concepts.
Yeah, this is wonderful. And coming back to the concept of synesthesia and to the colors, I would like to ask you, what's the colors, what's the palette of your colors in your life right now?
It would be the mix of deep blues, the vivid reds and soft yellows. And all of the color has its own definitions. The soft blues will be represented the growth, because my personal and my professional situation is for exploring things. The vivid red will be expressed in a way of that sometimes something intense is happening in my life. And soft blues are moments when atmosphere or people are giving the moment of warmness.
For example, personally, when I think about the blue, for me, blue is actually a moment of relax. And for example, when I'm just trying to sleep, I see blue. Is it is it a good, as you are a synesthetic artist, do you agree with me? So seeing blue in my dreams and before sleeping?
It's very interesting, and let's talk about chromatology as well,
Yeah.
which is the science study colors and human behaviors. I can say a few words according to my own personal observation, but the blue in general is the tint that gives people the softness, the relaxation, the atmosphere that is very cozy. So it's perfect what you are experiencing, Maria Grazia.
Okay, thank you. I'm just reassured by what you're saying. So, because colors, I agree with you. Colors are very important in a person's life. So they change everything. They change the state of emotions of people. For example, when I feel good, I wear something red on me, on myself. If I don't feel very good, it's not the case, you know. There are some colors that we can, I would not like to say bear, but you know, we have a sort of responsibility also to wear colors, no? So, for example, black, blue, and as you told us, in this very, very interesting way. So, let's talk about someone's aura, the aura which is around us. So, have you ever met someone whose aura changed the way you approached a piece of yours?
Yes, absolutely. I met a person whose aura was my inspiration. The aura and the colors were linked directly to the painting. As I told you, and we talked a lot about the synesthesia, it means also perceiving the aura in different people. So it's very spreaded that sometimes I meet a very interesting person, or sometimes I meet people and I instantly understand that he or she is wearing a mask. It's playing a game. So it also, for me, it's also like linked with coming a lot of colors from them, because every person carries their own color.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. Very, very interesting points of view. I'm sure that people who are watching us now are going to have some point of reflections for for the next few hours at least. So I would like to finish this interview with the keyword surprise. So. And the future, of course, because we need the future. We need to hope a better future and to think about a better future. So how do you hope that your art will surprise you for the future?
You know, Maria Grazia, the life is a process in general. It's infinite process of discovery. So my art is very linked to my growth and understanding in general. So as I grow, my art will continue infinitely explore within me.
I want to thank Salome Kvedelidze for being with us today and for sharing, for having had this opportunity to share with us her sparkling and magical and deep vision of arts and of the world, because I think that life is magical and art is magical, and Salome's art is magical. It's a kind of magic. You can see her works on my website, and I think that you will agree with me. She is magical. So thank you, Sally, and thank you to everyone for being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you for this very special interview. and thank you for being with me during this process of discovery and process of my journey. It means a lot to me, and it's an honor to be you as a part of my art process. Thank you, Maria Grazia.
It's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure. Thank you to everyone.